Hello, friends on Zoom. Well, we made it through another night. I have a beautiful poem for us this morning. Oh, I should do this. It's what's the date? I try to orient. It's the 11th of October, 2021. I am Robert Beatty. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I have a little echo here I want not to have. What if I unplug this? That's better. Record. Record to this computer.
Recording in progress.
Whoa, that's loud. So, this is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community. An experiment in what the Dharma can be in a Western culture. So I have this poem, a poem. It's Venerable Lama Gendrun Rinpoche. It's called Free and Easy, a spontaneous Vajra song. And I must do one more little fiddling. I think that will make all the difference. Yes. Free and Easy, a spontaneous Vajra song by Lama Gendrun Rinpoche. Happiness cannot be found through great effort and willpower, but is already present in open relaxation and letting go. Don't strain yourself. There's nothing to do or undo. Whatever momentarily arises in the body-mind has no real importance at all, has little reality whatsoever. Why identify with it and become attached to it, passing judgment upon it and ourselves? Far better to simply let the entire game happen on its own, springing up and falling back like waves without changing or manipulating anything. And notice how everything vanishes and reappears magically again and again, time without end. Only our searching for happiness prevents us from seeing it. It's like a vivid rainbow which you pursue without ever catching, or a dog chasing its own tail. Although peace and happiness do not exist as an actual thing or place, they are always available and accompanies us in every instant. Don't believe in the reality of good and bad experiences. They are today's ephemeral weather, like rainbows in the sky. Wanting to grasp the ungraspable, you exhaust yourself in vain. As soon as you open and relax this tight fist of grasping, infinite space is here, open, inviting, and comfortable. Make use of this spaciousness, this freedom and natural ease. Don't search any further looking for the great awakened elephant who is already resting quietly at home in front of your own hearth. Nothing to do or undo, nothing to force, nothing to want, and nothing is missing. Maho, marvelous. Everything happens by itself. I think we've been doing this for a long enough time now. Seems like this is what just happens on weekday mornings. Started out in a tent. So let us remind ourselves of the refuges. I invite you to sing along. What might they really mean if we really leaned into them? How might life be different? I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sangaya, Namo Sangaya, Namo Sangaya. Please let us embrace the fullness of this moment. It's a moment that is exactly like this. We all know what to do or not do. For the next 30 minutes, let's just sit here. Cultivate concentration and mindfulness. Or just sit here and watch. Sit here and know. Observe the mystery of that which is awake, that which knows. There's just now. It's just so interesting we don't notice that. And we don't notice because of these dreams, these fogs that come through. These stories of the past and future. And they too exist now. And this is why it's not a problem if there are the 5 hindrances. They might even be misnamed. Better to call them 5 great trances or 5 familiar trances. There's the trance of wanting. I want something. Or there just is wanting. Doesn't even need to be an I that wants it. Or there's the trance of not wanting, disliking, that which so naturally arises when there's pain. The trance of restlessness and agitation. If only I can get it figured out, everything will be okay. If I worry about it enough, it'll be okay. The trance of sloth and torpor. Sleepy, dull, gone, out to lunch. The trance of doubt. Conflicting belief systems, ideas. And all of these are grist for the mill of awakening. And we can use the breathing, the sensations in the body of breathing, for orientation, for stability. Be here. And so we rest in now. And a flavor to now might be, I aspire to love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. Each breath has its beginning. Human life entails the manifesting of pleasant experiences and unpleasant experiences. There are pleasant sights and sounds and smells and tastes and touches and experiences in the mind. There are unpleasant sensations, experiences in the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the feeling body, and again the mind. Some are mildly pleasant or mildly unpleasant. Some are in the middle, sort of, and some are extreme. To be in a human body means there's no way not to be on this ride of pleasant and unpleasant, which drives us. This is the second foundation of mindfulness, to observe with great love, with equanimity in time, with compassion, how it is to be in a human birth. And we have a great aspiration or intention from the Buddha, foundational in the teachings. Whenever I discover that I'm hurting, whenever I'm suffering, whenever the vicissitudes, the polarities are being identified with and therefore there's suffering, to notice this pushing and pulling, this liking and disliking. And to hold ourselves in sweet compassion. And the same is true for all other humans. Praise and blame, gain and loss, sickness, health, pleasure, pain. We do a lot of pretending. I want to be sure no one sees how much I'm struggling. And so we hold ourselves and also others in sweet compassion as best we can. We learn to see what's happened to ourselves and other people. Why do I stand like this? How is it that this tension is here in the throat? What about these worries? We somehow hold them in the heart, hold them in love. Very delicious and comforting to be with you this morning. Jim is leading a 9 till 2, I think, Qigong mindfulness poetry time on Saturday. Am I correct, Jim?
9 to 1, but yes, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock. If you've got a chance to come, even for an hour, you'll get all three things. So a little movement, a little poetry, and a little quiet sit.
And beyond that, the world goes on. Is there anything you'd like to share? Don't forget to mute, Jim. Background noise.
Hi, Robert. It's Dave.
Hello, Dave Mayer.
I just wanted to share this little mini journey experience I had at the end of your meditation. You alluded to birth, and one of the things that's been really helpful for me over the last, couple of weeks is in staying with the breath, just having a mantra, compassionate breath. That with every exhalation, it's trying to evoke compassion for whatever is coming up in this, Vesuvius of an inside. But in the midst of this compassionate breath, I went to the birth experience, and it just occurred to me, if someone came up to me right now and said, "Hey, Dave, I have a great idea. Got this wonderful amusement ride. And here's what's going to happen, okay? You're going to be forcibly expelled from this birth canal. You can come out, and you're not going to have any identity at all. You're not going to know who the hell you are. You're not going to know what's up, what's down. You're going to be totally vulnerable. And the only thing you'll be able to do for yourself is breathe, but everything else is just going to be dependent on other things. And as you go along, you're going to develop this sense of self and this sort of rule-based identity based on these superimposed rules from the outside and from your experiences. And then you're going to start to bump into other similar beings who have their own individually shaped rule-based selves. And somehow you're going to have to interact and find common ground with them. And they're going to be sharp corners and bump your head, and things are going to conflict, and there's going to be anger. And hell no, I'm not going on that ride. And I just suddenly had this huge, peaceful, compassionate, holy crap, what is this ride that we are on? And there was just this overwhelming sense of peace and awe, and the only thing I could say is compassion for this thing that we are all trying to do or make our way through, that maybe we did or didn't have any choice in. But it was just this, let's look at the reality of this and have a little more forgiveness and peace. And it just wanted to share that.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Hi, Robert. It's Joy.
Hello, Joy.
I just want to mention it's Canadian Thanksgiving today. So I'm trying to be grateful and eating a lot. But I was interested during the meditation to follow all of the storylines. That I was trying to find a really good storyline to follow. Like, my life is so difficult and I'm so disagreeable. And then, no, that's not a good storyline. I'm actually just a little tired, but I have really a lot of friends and I'm very likable. And then, no, I don't like that one. Anyway, it went on and on. It was kind of interesting. And then every once in a while I could drop it and just, breathe and be in silence. So that was my experience today. Anyway, I'm very thankful for this community. Thank you.
Isn't it remarkable? I mean, how florid the imagination is, the story generator, it continues to just amaze me. I had a chance to sit for an hour early this morning, and there's just no predicting what will come up. I mean, one of the wandering minds that came up this morning was a long time ago, 40 years ago. Yeah. My first wife and I went to Mexico, and we took a bus from San Diego to the tip of Baja in the end. And this morning at 4:30 in the morning, there was a particular taco stand that I was reliving ordering tacos at that stand and being disappointed at how small they were. And what the hell? 40 years later, that's preoccupying consciousness. It's bizarre. I mean, it wasn't even a dramatic moment, but there it was. And then there was awakening from it. It's like, well, that, and then sort of a little laughter. It's like, no, that was interesting. But delusion is quite remarkable. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's been all about the food for sure. Which is
Do you do turkey? Is that still your?
no, nobody at our age, nobody does turkey. They all do things that are a lot simpler because that's for the youth, right? All that effort.
Really? How interesting.
Well, yeah, it was funny. I went to a party yesterday, and everyone's retired, and they were all talking about their cataracts and their surgeries and the people they knew who died. And I thought, oh, this is so funny. What a new phase of life this is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, does the past not exist? Because we think it comes into our minds all the time.
It exists in the present moment, but it's over. And trying to do it differently, trying to have a different past is really a fool's errand.
What about if we think about it differently?
That's different, of course.
Like instead of thinking, oh, those were all horrible disasters and I was such an awful person, maybe we could reframe it somehow.
Absolutely.
To be more comforting.
Right. Yeah, I'm experiencing that with that whole experience I had recently with seeing the poor me story, and when memories arrive, they arise with the poor me story, and it's quite humorous sometimes. Like, what? That was, I mean, among my grand stories was a horrible divorce and custody battle, and that person and all that business, and. It's also through a radically different lens. It's like, wow, that was educational. Boy, did I learn a lot. Here was I terrified of conflict, and I had to learn. If I had not learned how to fight, and how to contact my anger, and how to use attorneys well. I would not have had my children with me through their growing up, and I was the primary parent. I stayed home with them when they were babies, but had I not had that experience, and I would have lost. I would have become a weekend dad, and it also gave me some power. I learned how to make things happen in a way that I didn't know up until then. Now that was extremely valuable training. So to look back on it, it's like, yes, that was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe none of it is real. It's just a matter of, in the present moment, what interpretation you need.
Amen.
Anyway, I'll let someone else talk for a while. I was just interested in this meditation that I could follow the fabrication of storylines.
A caution, which is we can spend years following the fabrications. And at some point, even the dukkha of that becomes more and more obvious. And when a fabrication begins, it just falls away. We lose interest in doing that after some time.
Nice. Nice.
Because now is so resplendent. That's a nice word. Now,
Nice,
now
nice.
is where life is happening, and those are fog. Those are dreamy. Yeah, I used my meditation time for a decade or two to do therapy on myself. I was always going to improve myself, and then it clarifies. It's like there's nothing to fix.
Ah, yes.
Happy
Thank,
Thanksgiving.
thank you. Thank you. You too.
Wait, is it true that the Pilgrims landed in Montreal and then they had to make their way? Sorry.
It
No,
is
that
true.
Robert. The truth is that Samuel de Champlain had Thanksgiving with the local native people. I don't know, 50 years before the Pilgrims showed up.
I believe that's true, isn't it?
So we're the winners then.
Well, yeah, I guess. But
Thank you.
Oh, that's
my
Bruce.
hindrance,
Hi,
my
Bruce.
hindrance today is the oven doesn't work, so I have to use the barbecue.
Uh-oh. I see. How is it up there in the Yukon this morning?
It's quite dark. I'm finding it, we're getting into the changing of the season, which, has its pleasures, but it's definitely, definitely changing. So,
Nice to hear from you.
yeah, take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's hard. I have to be careful here. It's hard being in the United States to remember that other countries have histories. Because only one's important. Okay, I'll be punished for that. Anybody else want to share something? How is Mexico treating you, Pamela?
It is lovely. I heard last night I went to a restaurant where they had a band of they they said the music was gypsy jazz, and it was absolutely fabulous. Really wonderful musicians and delicious food, and it was great. I'm going off today. There's um, it's like a big communal art studio, and people can buy artwork or they can watch the artists work, and so I'm going with a couple of new friends that I made. It's great. It's great. I'm having a great time.
Yay.
Yay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, anybody have anything else you'd like to share? I have a carpet and upholstery washing adventure this morning that I will head out to when we're done here. It takes all day to dry. So let's go out on Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Thanks for coming this morning, my friends. Lovely time together. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Goodbye, friends. Have a good day. May we all surf the pleasures and pains equally.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Robert.
Hello, Eileen.
Don't overdo with your back.
It's actually being wonderful. I walked for 10 minutes on the treadmill this morning, and it's just great. And he told me be normally careful, but not to be.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
it's
great.
Don't get carried away with more. Like you're saying, you're going to do the upholstery and the carpet and just, anyway, I'm glad.
Thank you for your concern.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
You can come here and clean if you have all that energy and reach places I can't. So, okay.
I'll be over this afternoon, 2:00.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Denise, the lover of the natural world and all living things.
I saw Michelina at Brighton Bush this weekend.
You were what?
I saw Michelina at Brighton Bush this week.
She doing well, I hope?
She was. I got to give her lots of big hugs, and she said she might come back and visit sometime.
Great.
So, whatever. Anyway.
Take care. Bye-bye. Goodbye, friends on